Welcome into Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only wrestling podcast in the Marshland Media Empire conglomeration to detail episode by episode, beat by beat, and droplet of sweat by droplet of sweat. Lucha Underground, the combined effort between Robert Rodriguez's television network and AAA, the Mexican Lucha Federation. Federation? That's not a word, it's Federation. And I am Sean-oration. Just kidding, it's Sean.
Oh yeah, Sean-oration X, DX, or it would be SX. SSX tricky chops.
Ooh, it's time to rock around on time. That's right, it's
Tricky. And
ladies
me.
and gentlemen,
I'm a tricky boy.
Put your hands together for this tricky boy.
Yeah, boy, he's tricky. Sean, did you watch
James?
that Wrestling with Regret this week about the Monday Night War?
Did he do a TNA one?
Yeah.
I think I did, yeah.
Wowzers,
Shout out to Wrestling
man.
with Regret.
TNA sucked for doing that.
TNA did there are so many mistakes. We've talked about this for a while.
How Hulk Hogan ruined your federation.
There's also, it's the first episode's on YouTube, Vice's docuseries Dark Side of the Ring. They're doing the death of WCW.
Okay.
And it's so funny because it's the same. It would be reductive to blame it all on Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan's relationship. Just like it would be reductive to blame the death of, and not the death, TNA is still a thing, but to blame the fall of TNA on Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff's relationship. It would be reductive to do that, but it's not wrong to do it also.
Wait, but also can't Vince Russo be thrown in there a little bit?
Honestly, a little bit. Vince Russo is incompetent, but I don't think he was quite as... And that's why it's so complicated.
Also,
but there was something, yeah.
It's the situation, the director of Jason Goes to Hell has told this story. He was 19 when he directed that movie. He was friends with the Cunninghams, and...
Richie?
No. Sean S. Cunningham, the producer / like the rights holder, whatever. I don't know. The whole Friday the 13th bullshit is crazy now. Who owns it? But
so the Fonz is nowhere near Friday the 13th.
No. He sees that, and that's the only time he's not cool. He's like, man. He's like, hey, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
It's the only time he swears. Also, it's very concerning.
He has 4-leaf clovers pinned to his jacket, and I'm not talking. Yeah. Oh, James, don't you mean leather thing? No, I'm talking about the first season where it was too risque to wear a leather jacket on goddamn national television, so they put him in a windbreaker. You think I'm lying? I am not.
No, I remember because it was like James Dean's windbreaker in Rebel Without a Cause, I think, which is still so funny to go back to, like, Rebel Without a Cause, this cool, badass, teen angst movie, and he's wearing a fucking windbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
Like season 1 Fonz.
Here in the Windy City, you got to, and, up in Milwaukee, it's probably just as windy, that lake effect wind.
And in Los Angeles, where Rebel Without a Cause was shot, I don't know. Dude just thought windbreakers was cool, I guess. It was the 50s. It was a different time.
Wait, I need to go back to, we can't, I was going to say, or in LA where the temple's at, but no, I need to scoop it back to the Sean S. Cunningham thing.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Friday the 13th.
So Sean S. Cunningham just blamed this director for making every choice in there. And the director, we saw a screening at the Davis Theater that he just happened to be there, and he did a Q&A, and it was super cool. And he said, just his argument doesn't make any sense because if that is the case, he allowed a 19-year-old to bully him. A 19-year-old who has known him since being a young teenager, like a family friend, I bullied this man. No, this was a group decision. Everything that was being happened, we should all take credit for it. Yeah, there's some weird stuff in it.
Yeah, it was a choice because that's the one where Jason's barely in it. It's this spawn of Jason that's like jumping into people's bodies.
Yes, that's the specific thing. He has said, Sean S. Cunningham was like, hey, do whatever you need to do. Just get that fucking mask off from him. And then Sean S. Cunningham's like, I wouldn't do that. And it's like, oh, so I made that decision, sir? No.
Yeah.
I was told by the producers that I can do whatever I want. Just please take that mask off from him.
Yeah. As far as like, it's so curious then to ask who took the mask off of in TNA. And even TNA is not totally fair because you can blame Dixie Carter, sort of the Sean Cunningham. Like, you put all the money, you were really excited to hire Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. Like, and it's so weird because even Eric Bischoff before, like, he did a lot of things for WCW. And Hulk Hogan was a big get. But something about them together creating this, like, I guess in that sense, it's kind of like if this 19-year-old, because Eric was pretty new to the scene, but like this 19-year-old who then hires, who's just like a really, like Sean Penn, the actor Sean Penn.
Yeah.
And then Sean Penn will go around and be like, hey, I need creative control of my contract. And also, I need this motorcycle. And also, I'm going to bury everyone else in the cast list. Like, if that 19-year-old director would have hired Sean Penn, I think that's the best sort of Hollywood correlation to what Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan's relationship was. And that's why I'm not blaming either of them. I'm kind of blaming their relationship.
Yeah.
Is my takeaway from that first episode of WCW. And as a fan of TNA, it's kind of like I'm not blaming either of them specifically. I'm blaming Dixie for thinking that this relationship was what the company needed and not, more AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, we don't need any of those fuckers at all. Samoa Joe, keep that mask on your sweet tooth now.
He can do both. Well, you're a sweet tooth for watching episode 3 of season 3 of Lucha Underground with me. That episode being Ultimate Opportunities.
Oh, Ultimate Opportunity Spider-Man. Miles Morales is there in the ring. Oh, that's what we would call, if Sam Raimi made an Ultimate Spider-Man movie and he's like in the ring with Macho Man, but I guess it'd be someone else. Call it Ultimate Opportunity, and he'd be, instead of Macho Man, he'd be there with Johnny Mundo.
Hell yeah. Honestly, I was worried about it until you suggested that Johnny Mundo was getting paid off of this, and I'm on board.
Uh-huh.
I also thought you were going to say if Sam Raimi directed Ultima Lucha, which I don't know. I don't know if Sam Raimi has any interest in professional wrestling, let alone the cultural aspect of professional wrestling in Mexico. But if he did, Sam Raimi, direct a lucha movie.
Yeah. Also, why not Rob Zombie? We know you like luchador shit, I'm pretty sure. You direct a movie too, not horror, just like make some weird, wild stuff. Yeah, bring back Edge. You invited Edge to perform is a loose word, but while Edge was using a Rob Zombie theme song, he was using Never Gonna Stop. Okay. Never gonna let you go.
Yep, that's the one. There's like an Ozfest where Edge just appears on stage with Rob Zombie performing. And he just like has the Intercontinental title, and then he runs to one side of the stage, and then he kind of wiggles, and then he runs to the other side of the stage, and he kind of wiggles some more, and that's all. Yeah.
And then he runs again and tears his ACL.
Stop. We wish Edge a very healthy and happy soon recovery.
Wait, he's injured again?
He got injured. He wasn't injured for a while, but yeah, he got injured.
Oh.
Who are you thinking of?
No, he just always gets injured.
Not really.
He does. Cord loves Edge, but knows that Edge is prone to injury.
He has the injury rate of someone who's been wrestling for over 20 years.
Okay.
I'll give him that.
No, he's prone to like injuries that take months to recover from.
Well, they thought he was never going to recover, right? That was the big injury, but they thought he was going to retire forever. And then he came back. For Edger. He was going to edge us by never coming back. But then he did. And then I think he was healthy for most of that until recently.
I don't know. He's prone to injury. He'll never be one of the greats.
Who said that?
Accord jokingly says that because I think people on message boards in 2009 were saying that.
Wait, this is 2009? I'm arguing with 2009?
Yeah, but but I made the joke based off from my information of him in 2009, and guess what? It still rings true, so shut up.
How does this? It's been over 13 years.
Okay, but he got injured, right?
In 13 years, one injury in 13 years is not injury prone.
For most of the 13 years, he was not wrestling, correct?
He was making money playing, James. That transcends wrestling. It had a Frazier. James, they put a Frazier in a movie with Edge.
Frazier's in a plane.
That's right. And so is Edge. Oh, the hijinks.
It's snakes on a plane, but all the snakes are Frazier.
Yeah. Yes.
So in today's episode, it starts off, I don't remember, but I know Chavo's there.
So let's break it down. It's great. Rey Mysterio Jr. is sparring hands with Dragon Azteca Jr., who Rey has taken under his wings since Dragon Azteca Sr. passed. Whole lot. And so at this point, just message one of us on Instagram and ask for the backstory, because I love talking this shit. But Rey and Dragon are sparring hands. Rey says, I know what Penta did to you, but don't lose focus. We get a little wrist lock. Dragon's like, he broke my arm and he tried to break yours. Rey comes back, and I love this advice. This is good advice for anyone. Penta has many enemies. Let them destroy him.
Oh, I thought he just gave 2 middle fingers. That's why I did it to the screen.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just flipping me off because I was late today.
Oh, no. He says, hey, Penta, just, you gotta middle finger him,
I do love that though. Someone had I gotta take care of my enemy. They have been making a lot of enemies. Mm-hmm. This might not be your fight.
Yeah.
Like Penta's making enemies left and right. He's walking a path that he probably doesn't love. He's got to walk that path. You got to do your own shit, Dragon.
I'm sorry to say this, guys, but it reminds me a lot of, like some mob bosses, or like maybe a Talia al Ghul, like saying that about Batman. Like,
oh, Batman, you say.
Batman has many enemies. We needn't bother, because if we get on his radar, it's just going to be bad for us. Let it be bad for other people.
Yeah, get on Batman's radar by the time like he's got 10 other people on his radar. Like, honestly, if you were gonna fight Batman, probably his biggest weakness is that he overextends himself.
Oh no, like in Batman Eternal, that is a big thing. And in Nightfall, both of those things, the villain is intentionally making him overextending himself, so he is exhausted, and that's when they strike. Technically, Bane said no, but he's like, oh, I want you to be nice and strong for when I banish your back into a bed.
Oh, Bane. He pulling a Vegeta at the last minute. Of that sort of like, when Vegeta would throw Cell the Senzu Bean, and then everyone's like, what? Stop giving the bad guy who wants to destroy Earth healing items. He's like, I want him to be very strong so that when we fight each other, our muscles clash and our titties bounce off of each other. I'm the Prince of all Saiyans.
Man, Vegeta's responsible for so many deaths, and when he's a good guy.
I know. Vegeta, pull it together, bud.
Yeah, dude.
So Rey and Dragon are sparring. Rey's kind of follows up. I love this Lance Storm parallel drop toe hold, where like normally drop toe hold, your bodies are perpendicular to each other, so you trip up. It's a trip pretty much, but Rey's doing it in a way that like both bodies are like facing each other, so they're parallel. He just like drops first and then rolls you up and puts like. He gets Dragon into this cradle. He gets the pin in this sparring session 1, 2, 3. But wait a minute, James, who the fuck is counting? There's no referee in sparring. Who's making this count?
The
James?
Adonis himself, Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Chavo is back, baby. He tells Dragon Azteca Jr. to take it easy, kid. Dragon's like, you're a liar. Which, like, I don't know if that's true. Take it easy. He just wants you to take it easy.
Yeah.
You only got one set of joints there, Dragon.
Easy and sleazy, bitch.
Chavo does the full version of the Lance Storm drop toe hold into signature half Boston Crab. It's a Lance Storm move. It's so fucking cool just to see, like, you're running at someone full speed, and then all of a sudden you're in a Boston Crab. You're getting bent in half. It's art. I love this shit.
Ooh, mommy, bend me in half.
The only problem is Mommy, aka Chavo Guerrero, does not let go of the hold. Ray has to pull Chavo off. I mean, Chavo's like, you know what? Maybe it might be my turn. It might be on me to teach Dragon Azteca Jr. a Familia Guerrero.
Whoa, oh wait,
Chavo is back, baby.
I didn't even realize that's what he was saying. It'd be cool if Chavo and Dragon Azteca Jr. team up.
Would be. I forget actually what happens at the end of this episode. I know they come back. Let's get through. Want to get through the notes and find out?
Yeah, let's do it.
Chimps riff us to the desk. The Chimps are the house band for the next couple of weeks. We get the rundown for the night. The champion will defend the title, but against who? Well, Dario's Dial of Doom will decide. Vampiro confirms this is pretty intense stuff.
How he says that is pretty much, it's wild, listeners, faithfuls of the temple. Will be deciding by a freaking wheel. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's gonna be the coolest, biggest, sweetest fucking wheel you ever done seen. We cut to outside of Dario's office, and I mean they put some production quality into this wheel.
I mean, it looks cool.
It looks cool. It does look like a wheel that... James, do you ever go to Lawn Fates? You ever hear of that?
What is Lawn Fates?
Fate. Fete, I think. But it's like... They're basically like mini carnivals. Very mini carnivals that churches would put on.
Okay.
As like a fundraiser over the summer.
I never went to them. Or maybe I did, but unknowingly.
So one of the games that you'll see all the time, and you might even see like 3 versions of bingo.
I'd like to see 3 virgins of bingo.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, then I can like hustle them on the bingo. Like I'll be like, whenever they say a word, you don't put it down.
A bingo shark is what you're what you're aiming for. Okay, I see it. I see the vision.
And a bingo shark? No, bingo turned into a shark. How will Bluey become a well-rounded individual if one of his parents is a shark now?
You know, I can handle this being a Batman podcast. If this also becomes a Bluey podcast, I'm out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say, oh, yeah, I'm back in.
I'm going to say I'm out, and then secretly I'm back in. You know I am. You know this is a front.
If this is a Bluey podcast as well, I'll never be late again.
There's so many... Yeah, as opposed to the wrestling podcast, that's getting me so much. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, dude. Bluey, guys, check it out on Disney Plus right now.
I would be more likely to get laid doing a Bluey podcast than I would be to be doing a wrestling podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because you'd be getting with MILFs, baby.
Finally.
So I'm just like, he's such a good dad, this bingo he is. Because they keep saying freeze, and he freezes. And then they say unfreeze, and then he's like, and they did it all day. You think he's going to get mad? Because that's what, like, normal TV or just, like, what American dads are supposed to be doing. They're like, hey, let's have a little bit of fun, but if you go over a little bit, I'm going to rage scream at you till you remember it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, Bingo's not traumatizing his kids. So that's pretty cool. The reason I brought up Bingo is something you'll see at a lot of these lawn fates. Remember lawn fates? We were talking about lawn fates too. One of the things you'll see is like variations on Bingo. Be like, Bingo, but we're pulling cards from a deck. Bingo, but it's a wheel.
Oh.
And that's what the Dial of Doom is. It's very well painted. And it's got this goth lettering and it's like kind of bloody. So there is some thought put into it. But in essence, and like in analog, it's just a lawn fate bingo wheel.
Yeah.
But you know, they're building it up. Fucking Dario says this is the greatest, most brilliant, critically acclaimed original concept. And the temple chants, they say, thank you, Hefe. Like, it works. It works. And the concept is that spin the wheel, whoever the name it lands on gets a title match against Daria's brother, the Monster Matanza.
Huh.
He says, Son of Havoc won this lucky opportunity last week, and he got his ass kicked. He got sent back to heel at the care of his mothers. So who's the next?
Oh, that's
quote unquote. We'll get there.
Holy shit. I forgot about that.
It's a really good episode. Guys, this is a really good episode. So they spin the wheel and fuck, man, even this. Do you remember who the wheel lands on?
Will he have a Juggalo championship person?
Whoop. Oh my God, bugs on my nugs. It's the fucking Mac, baby. First match of the night, Matanza versus the Mac for the Lucha Underground Championship. This match was crazy. And it was so much of the Mac. It's not a long match, but the first 2 minutes, it's all the Mac.
Uh-huh.
So Matanza's in the ring. He's with his brother as he's making his precious little wheel announcement. And as soon as the Mac's name gets called, the lights all change, the music's playing. Matanza goes to the stairs to wait for the Mac. And the Mac, you know what? He's not just a juggalo. He's not just a great wrestler. He's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't come down the stairs. He shoots from behind the ring and jumps the shit out of Matanza.
Yeah.
Matanza, at this point, he's beaten all of the previous Lucha Underground champions. Matanza is fucking jacked. He is not a guy to be made to look weak. And Mac immediately jumps him from behind and kicks the shit out of him. Throws him a stunner. He catches a stunner before he gets thrown into the ring and kicks out. Then he 2 more quick covers, kick out. And then it's all Mac.
I would have loved this if Mac just strolled up from behind and, Catwoman style and Batman Returns just has a taser, just goes, and Matanza's like, ding. Okay. And then he's like, gotta wheel him in here. 3, 2, 1, get out of here. Because remember, we're counting backwards.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember that.
And you have to Donkey Kong slam for each one.
Yeah. You got to shift your arms. It's 1 on the right, 2 on the left, 3 on, or the other way around. 3 on the right, 2 on the left, 1 on the right.
No, I would go, that's 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, like he does in Smash Bros.
That's 1.
Yeah.
That's 2.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no 3 in this one because Matanza didn't get tased.
That's true. Matanza did not get tased. And that's the only reason he's still the Lucha Underground champion. Spoilers. Eventually, it's Mac all up top for the first 2 minutes, which is a very long, this is a 6-minute match. So for 2/3 of the match, or for a third of the match, it's all Mac.
Uh-huh.
He looks, and it's so great. Mac's offense is always so exciting to see because it's very exciting and very good.
I believe Vampiro says it's like being bit by a bumblebee, to which Stryker says, bumblebees sting, they don't bite. Well, guess what? I ain't no bee because I suckle.
I think bees suckle. How do they get the nectar out? That's how they get nectar out.
No, I think what they do is they rub it on their little dirty hands.
Oh, you said dirty. It's still cute.
No, bees are sick, sensitive, sinisters.
Speaking of sinisters, Vampiro also says, so Mac is laid out in the corner. Matanza is stalking him, and Matt asks, what would it feel like to have the monster Matanza stalking you? And then Vampiro asks, do I look handsome tonight in this red shirt? Yes, I do. Thank you. Choke him. Vampiro, what? Well,
because he hopes when he's getting stalked, at least he looks good.
In his nice red shirt? You know what? That's all we can ask for.
Maybe. But I was going to ask you the same question. If you were having to be in the ring with Matanza, how would you react?
Oh, I would simply exit the ring, never turn around, never stop running. And I guess I've always said Canada. If I had to get out, find somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, because Matanza doesn't have a passport.
I'm praying he doesn't.
I don't think he has a birth certificate of any which way, I think.
Well, I think he does. I think he also has a death certificate.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he's legally dead. Like he's a ghost of a man.
So as long as I stay just in a different country, he cannot catch me. Unless, here's the thing though, Dracula did not have like any of that stuff. He just kind of hopped on a boat and then killed everyone on the boat.
But he can manipulate people's minds. Can Matanza do that?
Well, I don't think he even did that. I think he just hit on a boat that time.
Oh, okay.
He might have done that on the way to get in there, but you know who can do that? Katrina.
Ooh.
Together, they might be able to get on a boat, murder everyone on the boat, and then come for my ass hiding out in Canada.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to keep moving.
Or just, be in a landlocked area.
The worst part, if I find myself in a match with Matanza and then I run away and he chases me to the ends of the earth, the worst part of that is that it will give me structure, which will make me better about being at the podcast on time. So, it would be a net positive for you, James, at the end of the day.
But
you'd have
to get a really good VPN.
I would have to get a great VPN. That's true.
Because then they'll track where you are calling from.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If I get caught by Matanza because I'm doing this podcast with James, it'll be worth it.
Every single show starts with, James, why did you add Matanza to the call? He can find out where I am.
But also, it would start like that, but it would also be I wouldn't be a question because that would be a huge get. I understand why you would book Matanza. That would be an insane get for us. Actually, Matanza, you can kill me if you want to guest on this podcast.
No, it's not that he wants to guest or I'm like, yeah, be a guest on the show. He just keeps saying yeah, I really want to talk to Sean. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know where he'll be right now.
Off mic, off air, off the record.
Yeah.
Matanza. Oh, thanks, Mill. We got to keep going, though.
Well, no. Also, Mill's not Matanza.
Oh, that's a Matanza. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sad.
Well, you can also say Jeff Cobb.
You can also say
Matanza, I mean.
Yeah, Matanza. Thanks, Matanza. We got to get... Okay.
Wait, but ask me the same question.
James, what would you do if you found yourself in the middle of the ring with the monster Matanza?
My friend Catwoman gave me a taser.
Nice. Mac throws a gorgeous backhand to the throat. Oh my gosh. Matanza enters with a headbutt. They get real punchy towards the end here. It's wild. I cannot believe this was a 6-minute match. It feels like 15 in the best way. There's just there's so much story packed into this short amount of time. The people love Mac. You can hear it from the rafters. He set this torpedo pounce. Mac's getting a lot in. He climbs for the frog splash, but Matanza has the knees up.
Oh.
Wrath of the Gods and the pin. Matanza wins 6 minutes and 2 seconds.
I really like how they are making everyone look so strong this season. Instead of just a quick squash match, they're we're going to go in, we're going to take them down, it's going to be great. And it feels very much akin to Tombstone in BattleBots, where for the longest time, he was undefeated, would just tear robots to shreds, literally, just it was just this horizontal spinner, that just chopped at people. But then one person figured out how to beat him, and then the next season everyone beat him. So just one person needs to figure out what is his weakness, how can we exploit this? And I think even if they don't win, but they get him real close, the next person to go up is going to take him down.
It's very exciting to see who's going to beat Matanza. And who will find that strategy, who will find that little bit.
Do you think it's going to happen via the wheel?
I don't think so. I don't think the wheel's coming back, is it?
No. I mean, will the title change at the last person to get on the wheel? Will they take the championship?
Oh,
I kind of hope so.
The wheel, whoever it is, they need to transcend the wheel. As in that the story needs to be about this person and their rise to get onto the wheel. If they, as long as the wheel is just a tool in the story, then actually that would be great. And for that reason, I'm also okay with them dropping the wheel. Because I don't know, if it doesn't come back, it would be awesome if it was this story of this person getting onto the wheel and then getting their opportunity. But I'd also be okay if they just dropped the wheel and focused on the person, as long as they focus on the challenger, right?
I think Johnny Mundo is that person because I think if he
Johnny
gets
Mundo
this championship title match, when it's going to be, because every single week so far he's coming and been like, hey, when's my shot? And Cueto's just saying, no, until you land on the wheel, that's why. Or is it, no, yeah, he's on the wheel, right?
I think Mundo is on the wheel. There's a couple of things. Mundo is also a huge villain. I know kayfabe, I like to pretend that, like, they're saying Johnny Hero, right? They are not. They are saying Johnny Zero. Full transparency, listeners. And James, if I've been gaslighting you this whole time, that was not my intention, and I'm so sorry. Johnny Mundo in this season, the last season as well, is a giant piece of shit. And I don't think he's the guy right now.
This entire time I've been thinking they were screaming, "Let's go, Brandon."
Oh no. We cut to somewhere on the open road. This is amazing. So yeah, Son of Havoc fought Matanza last week and he got his ass kicked. So he's at James, when they show you, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, James, when the establishing shot for the open road, just like a one sentence description. What is the open road?
The open road, I would think like Route 66, in the Great Plains area of it.
Yeah, it's like nighttime. There are cars going down this route, this highway, wherever it is.
It would be a big Pee-wee's, not big. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So it's Pee-wee and Large Marge. That's what I think of as the open road.
Yes, that's a great point. Great point of reference. And since season 1, Son of Havoc has been billed as coming from the open road. So James, how does Son of Havoc live on the open road?
He's in like a man cave in his mom's basement, hanging out with his best friend Masquerita Sangrada on a couch together, watching, I guess, a commercial for the Get Fame thing.
Yeah, like it's just his mom's basement. On the open road.
And Sean,
somewhere on this strange dark highway is a middle-aged woman in a nice middle-class house and a basement for her son to live in.
And Sean, remember last episode how I said, isn't it crazy that it says this episode was sponsored in part, like it says text like furnished by Bagel Bites? And then the mom says, hey guys, I got Bagel Bites for you. There is an integrated ad within this episode of Lucha Underground, and it fucking ruled.
They do it very obviously too, which is super nice. Because when I was first writing down notes, I'm like, what? I didn't realize you could buy an apartment in the open road. And then after the commercial, and Son of Havoc's like, I fucking hate these guys, don't you? Masquerita Sagrada, Famous B's former client, is like, yeah, I still hate these guys. So looks like they're going to team up to take on Famous B and his new client, the Doctor. So right as they decide they're going to do that, that's when their mom... That's when we don't see her. I don't think we see her. No, we do see her.
Yeah.
Son of Havoc's mom, not in a mask, that just a mom.
Oh, that would have been so fun. I think that would have been funnier.
I know, right? Well, because they live on the open road. It's a very nice house, but somewhere just in the middle of the highway, I guess.
Okay.
But she comes in and it's just this very obvious, like it very commercial, very like Saturday morning cartoon ad drop for these Bagel Bites that she's going to make for her son and her son's friend.
It was very Comedy Bang Bang, the TV show, when they would do real integrated stuff. There was one for a new kind of Cheez-It that was like, you want to know what? I'm going to support this show. I'm going to get some of those Cheez-Its. And that's the only time marketing has worked on me. Besides, Community was always on the fringe of being canceled. So they were like, hey, let the sponsors know you fuck with them. And they did a lot of Subway shit where like Subway tried to open up a sandwich store within the community, the college, the community college. And during that time, they're like, oh, but a student needs to own this business. And so like they brought in this guy who had been like, he is hired to be named Subway, and he's supposed to be like the representative of Subway, the corporation, so they can open up a Subway within the community college.
Oh my gosh. It's that level of like irony. That like if you want James to buy your shit, make it ironic, baby.
No, just be a thing that really needs the support.
Or just like really need it. You know what? Yeah.
And be food.
Yeah, sorry. Nice try, the public libraries who do need our support. And if you ever get a chance, support your local public library any way you can.
What are you talking about? I go to the library once a week.
Okay, that's true. But they're not. Okay, so that's the one example of not being food, but needing your support.
Well, that's free. The library I'm going to keep going to, you know?
Oh, yeah. Wait, your library... My library is not free.
Oh, shoot. Are you just at a bookstore?
No, there's just a big guy out front that says, give me $2 every time I go in.
Oh, dang, your bully's there.
Yeah, but you know what? He needs it. And he gives me a hot dog every time I go in. So it's food, too.
Okay, hell yeah.
Let's go. This is capitalism, baby.
Now that hot dog's an actual hot dog, right?
No, it's his penis.
Okay, I thought either that or a steamer in a bun.
We cut to Dario's office next. We have 2 more matches to get to as well. Dario's literally head down sniffing his desk. I don't think they've ever been so blatant. I don't think they've ever been quite as blunt as Dario is headed down sniffing his desk when Johnny and Taya barge in and they demand that wheel get spun one more time. Johnny is sick of waiting for his title shot. Calm down, Johnny. Dario's like, you and Jack Evans and the werewolf PJ Black, you have a trios match tonight. Taya comes in. The Darewolf? Yeah, werewolf. Fucking whatever. I don't care. This isn't enough. Johnny doesn't want a trios title match. He wants the Lucha Underground title. Yeah. And everyone's agreed. Everyone in the Worldwide Underground agreed that they don't care about the trios titles. They just want Johnny to have the title. I don't know if they've actually all talked about that. That might be some shit Johnny's just saying.
Maybe that's why the Darewolf is a little upset later.
Well, Dario wants to confirm. So, Johnny, you will not be competing? And Johnny's like, no, I'll be at my dojo. And you better think about how you're treating Lucha Underground's #1 star. Johnny storms out of the office. And Taya fucking swoops in. She's like, hey, that spot open then for the main event tonight. So she will be competing for the trios title match along with the werewolf, the Darewolf, PJ Black, and Jack Evans. Then she points that there's a little something under Dario's nose, and he's just like, out. So Dario's confirmed doing cocaine, and Taya will be competing in the main event. But before that, Tejano versus Cage. These guys have been floating around each other. They were both in the tournament last season. They both lost in the first round. So Dario even comes out before the match. That's why he's making this match. He was really looking forward to this in the tournament, but they both got eliminated. So yeah, let's get these 2 big, intimidating, awesome fighters and just let them fuck shit up.
And this is for the ultimate opportunity, I believe?
This is for a unique opportunity, I believe.
Oh, no. Oh, it was the ultimate unique opportunity because the unique opportunity was something from last season.
Yes. And this might be something similar.
What do you think this ultimate unique opportunity is?
Based on the ending, I think it will be something we saw in season 1.
Which was?
Let's get to it because it involves the ending.
Oh, okay. Then I think I can say what I think it's going to be.
Please do.
I think it's going to be stock options, thin gravy, and that instant mash he's got all over his tables.
I would like to change my answer to stock options, thin gravy, and whatever that powder stuff he has all over the table.
But I think what it's going to be is a high position in Ultimate Lucha, because it's an ultimate unique opportunity. And I think after 5 weeks is going to be around when Ultimate Lucha eventually happens.
I don't think we're even close to Ultima Lucha, are we?
No, yeah, because that's... Oh, wait, no. Aztec Warfare. That's what I meant to say. Damn it.
Fair. I could see it being something at Aztec Warfare. I'm not gonna get deep into this match. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a hoss fight. These guys are thrown. I feel like it takes them a second to sort of warm up, but when they get there, it's freaking sweet. Cage does like a Billy Goat's Curse, which is such a cool name for a move. Shouts out to Colt Cabana. It's like an inverted fucking Boston Crab, Walls of Jericho, if you will. And to see Cage bust that out, I was like, let's fucking go.
Wait, is that when he kicked out and went into that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my only note, for, like, wrestling-wise for this, because it was so cool.
It was pretty freaking sweet. So yeah, it's to a point where it's just two, like, fighting, brawling guys. Cage a little bit more technical, because Cage likes to moonsault out of nowhere, and he does do a lot of like lockups, and like he is very smooth in transitions. Where Tejano's like, or I could punch you in the face.
Yeah,
there's a real fancy flip you did there, or I could pop you in the nose. Tejano counters. He looks for a ripcord clothesline. Cage ducks the clothesline. 360 discus lariat, and Tejano gets pinned by Cage. 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Great match. However, this one's not for the opportunity, the ultimate opportunity.
And before you say this, before the like deciding thing happened, I was like, I want both of them to win. And then when Cage won, I was like, but also, yeah, I'm excited. And then what happens next, I was like, oh, neither of them won.
Dario sets up, this is the first match of a best of 5 series. Just like Drago and Aerostar had back in season 1. And do you remember the ultimate opportunity for the winner of that best of 5 series?
No.
That's when Drago had the championship versus career.
Oh.
This is a championship match, but if Drago lost, he was asked to leave the temple.
Okay.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Okay, well then I hope they end up winning the championship.
Yeah, or a big old, like, I'm thinking like a vat of thin gravy. Oh. Just like a full barrel of thin gravy, baby.
I guess I could see, does Tejano stay in Lucha Underground the entire time?
I have no idea.
Because that could be what's about to happen is Tejano's going.
Possibly. Yeah, or Cage goes somewhere. Who knows?
No, I think Cage is in there for oh no, because doesn't he eventually go to TNA?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought Cage was in TNA, Impact Wrestling.
No, famously, Cage got passed over TNA by someone who was friends with one of the bosses.
Oh, okay, all right.
And that's reductive. Like, he was a good guy, but it was very clear that Cage deserved that TNA opportunity. But like, you know, it's like one of those things, like, you can't control being a Nepo baby. It's not your fault that Cage didn't get that. You got that job over Cage, but Cage really could have. That should have been Cage. So I don't know. I don't think he ever goes to TNA.
Okay.
We'll see though. I'm excited for this. The best of 5 should be pretty fucking hot. We go back to Dario's office where he got a package delivery, a little box. He shakes it. He pulls stuff out. There's a pink hat with yellow lettering. I could not make out what was written on the hat.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was the phone number for Get Fame.
Nice. Oh, interesting. And then there's an envelope. And the envelope has pictures of, it's either like a fucked up, burnt looking baby doll or aerial shots of land. I couldn't tell what those pictures were either. But Dragon Azteca Jr. barges in. He asks, was that where you're taking your brother on their next vacation? I guess it was aerial pictures of land. He throws the pictures in the trash. Dragon Azteca Jr. is here because he wants to face Pentagon Dark, the man who tried to break his arm. And while Dario would prefer a rematch with Black Lotus, she's back in Hong Kong. So this shit sounds tasty. I'll pencil it in. Dragon leaves. Ricky Mandel! Beloved jobber. And you know what I've never noticed? That he looks so much like s3e of the former Trios champions, the Disciples of Death. Of course, s3e had his heart eaten out by Muerte, so he's no longer alive. But doesn't Ricky Mandel kind of look like s3e? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, whoever that is.
You remember the Trios of Death? They were Mills goons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks like that guy.
Oh, but didn't we never see their face?
Yeah, I know. I just think it's interesting that Ricky Mandel, beloved jobber.
That's why we didn't see him all season. Okay, good.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was wondering, I was like, where I loved him in season 1. Where has he been? But yeah, oh, hell yeah. He was still working, having a great time.
He was a champion. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Congrats, Ricky Mandel. I'm pretty sure.
Well, unfortunately, that was not Ricky Mandel. That was s3e.
Okay, but it was also Ricky Mandel.
Ricky Mandel actually has been wondering why he has not been booked recently also.
But
that's
I'm
why
saying,
he's here.
Hell yeah to him as a human being.
Hell yeah to that body, yes. Hell yeah to this vessel.
Also, yes, Cage, I feel like you told me about Cage because in 2018 you were like, oh, there were so many like great Lucha Underground people in there at the time. Cage does go back to TNA and becomes the X Division champion.
Cage becomes X Division champion?
Yeah.
We gotta watch TNA.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because I was thinking you wanted to watch after this the impact of, because this is around the same time, what's his nuts hits a kid with a car.
Oh, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We gotta watch that too. I'm excited.
We gotta watch that era of TNA.
We gotta watch more adults hitting children with cars.
Oh, damn. You should watch Toxic Avenger.
Oh, we should. Ricky Mandela's here. He wants to know why he hasn't been booked. Sorry to bother you, El Jefe. I just want to know when my next match is gonna be. Hey, cool pictures. And remember how he threw those pictures into the trash? They're back on his desk.
Whoa.
Mysteriously. He's like, you like them? They're yours. Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Cueto.
Yeah. He says, wow, cool pics, Mr. Cueto.
It's so, Ricky, you fucking jobber. He's so sweet. He's so cute.
He's not a jobber, man. He was a champ.
No, s3e was the champ. Ricky Mandel is just a photograph enthusiast.
Oh, my God.
Exiting with the pics in hand, Ricky warns an approaching Chavo that now's not a good time. Chavo, however, closes the door, tells Dario, we need to talk. Cut to the Trios Championship match. So that was an interesting, just like, bam, 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 in the office. I liked that. I liked how that one scene, and we got like 3 different character motivations, perspectives, what they're doing. And the last one, nothing. We don't even know. We just know Chavo is here to talk to Dario again. Chavo's back. Like, it's so, I love this shot. I think this scene is one of the many reasons I love Lucha Underground. Like, they got 3 people's storylines over in one scene. And like, sure, like Ricky's kind of, Dragon Azteca Jr. is kind of a young lion. Like, he doesn't have, Ricky Mandel is still kind of this sweet enhancement talent type of guy. But the fact that they could get all those guys on, and there's some companies that you just wouldn't see them. Mm-hmm. And maybe you would get a line from commentary as they're making their entrance on like, oh, where has this guy been? But no, like giving them actual TV time like this was very fucking cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think Sam Raimi could have done better, though, okay?
Sam Raimi would have done better. I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking it, and I'm glad that you said it.
A Rob Zombie, on the other hand, there'd be a lot more F words.
And a Dragula. He wrote Dragula. Yeah. I like Rob Zombie. I've been thinking about Rob Zombie a lot lately.
He's good.
He's fucking great. He wrote Dragula, man. He digs through the ditches, he burns through the witches, and a slam in the back of my Dragula.
Yeah, man, he's good.
He's sweet. Rob Zombie, get on this podcast.
People who talk shit about him, especially like the fact that he just always hires his wife for acting roles. Yeah, man, they're hard to come by. If you have the opportunity to hire your family member, okay, your friend, but no, your fucking wife. Yeah, you're going to hire your wife. And when you write the thing, you're probably writing it for your wife in mind.
Yeah, and if you're Eric Bischoff, maybe you secretly have always been in love with Hulk Hogan and have wanted to marry that piece down. I don't blame you. So destroy WCW and fall in love with Hulk Hogan. Honestly, if Eric Bischoff would have fallen in love with Hulk Hogan, that would have been the best storyline in wrestling ever.
Yeah.
If that's what they were doing, drop the ball, WCW. This company that went defunct in 2001. You dropped the ball.
Yeah, and Eric Bischoff in like a promo talking about the marriage. He's like, this ain't no shoot. The only shoot I do. And then Hook goes, on my back.
That would have been cute.
Yeah.
Although it would.
And then they just start fucking.
Yeah. There's a Trios Championship match that we're going to transition into. It is the Trios Champions, Aero Star, Drago, and Fénix, versus the former champions of Worldwide Underground. Vampiro's trying to come up with a couple of names for them. Super Friends Matt Striker has been using. I like Vampiro's name. Did you have this written down?
Yeah, you say it.
The Intergalactic Explosive Comet and Middle Earth Vengeance. That's all the words I had for it. But it's a lot of words, and it's very cool. Tells Matt, you're not the only one who does nothing in the afternoon but take notes and read comic books.
I was trying to figure out what the next part I was going to say, and I go, yeah, same, but I feel like the comic books that Vampiro reads are like Vendetta Holy Trinity, I believe is what it was called. It's just like this like violent comic, just like with buff ass dudes, and there's like upside down crosses, and it just, Jeez. Oh no, Holy Vindicator is what it was.
Holy Vindicator. I can see that.
I'll show you the cover real quick.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, and that's fair. You know what? That's the beautiful thing about comics. Unholy Vindicator. And then there's like, I feel like Sanrio and like Hello Kitty probably has a couple comics out there. There's something for everyone, you know? And that's important. You deserve to find the comic book which speaks and resonates with you, dear listener.
Can you see that? It's like a guy crucified, and there's like a
that's
devil
baller
guy.
As hell. Yeah, that's saying that. The guy kind of looks like Hernandez, actually.
And it's like all glossy, like the red has a foil cover to it.
Yeah, it does. It kind of looks like Hernandez right before he got hit in the face with nunchucks by Drago.
Yeah, like this is something for sure Vampiro would be reading.
Hell yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's Vampiro coded as fuck. I love that. But yeah, it's the Intergalactic Explosive Comet at Middle Earth Vengeance, as influenced by Unholy Vendetta. This match is crazy. So yeah, and then it's versus the former champions, kind of. Worldwide Underground, the champions were Jack Evans, PJ Black, and Johnny Mundo. However, Johnny Mundo doesn't want to wrestle for the trios title anymore, so Taya is taking his spot. And honestly, she's pretty fucking great here. They have a very specific dynamic. And it works. It's like literally, it's Jack Evans, silly guy extraordinaire. He is on one today.
He's throwing a hissy fit.
He gets, we're running out of time.
Oh, do you have to go somewhere?
I don't, but you know, people get sick of our voices. They tell me on the street, they say, "Hey, what are you, Sean? Some kind of Sean?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I'm sick of your voice." And I'm like, "Whoa, thank you for listening to the podcast, though." And they say, "Oh, of course, I love me that James." Mm-hmm.
They just bring
That's
up
what
like
they say.
They're like, "Hey, get in this kennel. We're gonna dom your ass."
Yeah, they do that all the time, and I cannot stress enough. I have nothing to do with the Dominator. I merely appear on the same podcast series that it has been invented and has brought up constantly.
It's like a toy-sized kennel. It's not like a full kennel. Like Sean could barely fit a hand in it, but it's like a play thing of like, I'm gonna dom your ass, and like they kind of use it to razz Sean.
And James, because you brought it up, and I know we have a first-time listener out there somewhere, just real quick, what is a Dominator again?
A Dominator is a dog kennel, but like, you know, just like walls that close in on each other, but it's on a trained thing. You can like set it to how big your dog is. So the dog's just like feeling like claustrophobic and domed pretty much, but it's not going to hurt itself. If it does, that's on the owner, not on the instrument, because there are safety mechanisms put in place. However,
and real quick, okay, go ahead.
You can also get a Hugginator. Is that what you're going to ask about?
No, but before we get into the Hugginator, which is exactly what it sounds like, and yes, we have a Hugginator too, but for those wondering, what is the purpose? Like, what is the intended role of the Dominator again?
To put dogs in their place.
Right. It's a punishment tool designed to torture mentally, not physically. Welcome to the podcast.
But I did realize that we should... It's the
should
dog.
Not sell this thing because you've been sued by multiple federal.
Actually, I don't need to sell them anymore. Guess why?
Why?
I filed for nonprofit, baby.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to join a monastery. I'm a priest now. You've forced me to flee my life and join the church.
Guys, you heard it here. To be continued. That's the new arc for the Dominator. It's a not-for-profit instrument.
All right. The trios match is very good. Everyone here is a very good wrestler, and they do wrestling very, very good. It's a fucking great match. It really is.
Well, Taya was getting in on like some cool stuff. What's his nuts? Vampiro, I believe, goes again like, oh, this is reminding me of my arc. I don't want to say it, you know. It's like me. And then Stryker says, why is everything always got to string back to you in Mexico specifically? And he says, because it was me rocking half the country.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like Vampiro's like, and it's like what good color commentator. And really, like, that's, I don't know, we're all human. Like, we just see the world through our experiences. If you have interesting experiences, share it. And especially if you're part of your interesting experiences, we're rocking half of a country. Fucking Vampiro back down in Mexico style, baby.
Just getting all the tang he needs.
So Jack, I'm going to kind of focus on Jack because I think Jack's story is just insane in this match. He's doing the same thing. He's developed sort of a pattern of like tagging himself out early. He's not trying to be in the match for a long period of time. He will like long stretch, long pose down, and then quickly tag out. But I feel like it's towards like the second to third act of the match, like pretty deep in the match, he finally tags himself in to wrestle. Fresh as a daisy, dirty as a dog. And there's these dueling chants. Dragon Slayer, no he's not. Dragon Slayer, no he's not. That's such a hard chant to get going. Because like you start the Dragon Slayer chant and part of you's like, this is kind of ironic. I need people to know that like he's a bad guy. I get that he's a bad guy. But it's like you're kind of hoping for someone to jump in and just that no he's not. Because I think that's so important to his character. It's like, no, he thinks he's a Dragon Slayer. He indeed is not. So fucking good. He got him and PJ Black got their asses kicked with nunchucks last year. This man is not a Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, he slayed no dragon.
No dragons. He does get this full Nelson in though in the corner. He gets Drago's arms trapped in the corner ropes so that he just does this handspring chop block. Chop block is one of the most direct moves. I'm just hitting the back of your knee with my forearm so that you go down. It's dirty football. It's so direct. Jack Evans decides to make it incredibly indirect by incorporating an elaborate setup and then an unnecessary handspring. Just backflipping into a fucking chop block. He's too good for this world.
Can you do a half Nelson?
Yeah, just one arm.
Oh, have me do a half Nelson. Ask me to do one.
Hey, James, can you do a half Nelson?
Ha!
That's from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. PJ's response, it makes sense. He's been tag teaming with Jack Evans for a while now. He's just stiff. He's just like slapping the shit out of Jack to get these tags. And Jack doesn't really like being slapped around like this anymore. PJ goes back to the corner. He tries to tag Jack back in. Jack doesn't want to tag in. He gets slapped for a tag. Jack Evans is about to have a tantrum. He's not there yet. Mother Taya is here to be like, actually, no, she just throws him into the ring. Mother Taya does not handle this very congenially. Jack's starting to throw a tantrum. She throws him into the ring. He tags PJ Black back in, and then he pouts. Jack Evans pouts, and then he sits cross-legged in front of Melissa Santos, not in the ring, not on the apron. Jack Evans has checked out. Full tantrum mode.
It was wild.
It's so fucking funny. Obviously, PJ and Taya do not win this match. The Super Friends, the Intergalactic Explosive Comet, and Middle-earth Vengeance, they pick up the win in about 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Fucking Aerostar looking like, oof.
There was a spot where Fénix looked like he was doing the Pulp Fiction meme, like, huh?
He might have
GIF,
been. Fénix was on one. I forgot to mention, Fénix comes into the match. They make their entrance. He doesn't go to the ring. He doesn't just go into the crowd. He goes deep into the crowd, into like the back row. This is before the match. Back row, finds a child and lifts him over his head. Just before, yeah, I'm about to fight for my life. Hold on, a baby. All right, let's go. It's so and then it's just the energy Fénix has all night of just really being on one, like really just enjoying his time here. Yeah.
I believe my guess is that person was a family member.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Though, even afterwards, you see, I paused it at a weird moment because, in midair, the kid is whoa, scared. But I've never seen it. You know how, kids smile and you're like, damn, the world is a good place. It was one of those smiles after you put him back down. It was so sweet. Probably a family member. Very sweet moment. And, these guys are the champs. Even if Jack Evans wasn't having a tantrum, these guys are probably taking home the champs again.
Would you say Would you say laughing means you're also smiling?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, then yeah, I see children smile all the time because they're laughing at me when I just kind of trip on my own scooter and face plant.
Well, yes, we are as embarrassing middle-aged men. I think one of the greatest gifts we have is just being clowns for children.
No.
That's the thing. Sometimes whenever I feel like I'm embarrassed, I'm like, you know what? At least I'm making someone smile.
No,
at least I'm making that child smile as I fall and I break every bone in my face and I need facial reconstructive surgery like the clay face from Batman.
Well, what I do when a child laughs at me is I become a dad who is, just a tiny bit oh, I gave you this much and you went a little bit over. Now I will scream at you until you remember it forever.
Hell yeah. You are very unbingo. The anti-bingo. That's what they say about you out here in the States. So the Super Friends win this match. However, as Jack is pouting on the outside, Johnny Mundo runs back in. He's not at the dojo at all. He's here to jump our friends. It's 4-on-3. All hope is lost until Sexy Star comes in to even the odds.
Sexy.
Now it's the Super Friends and Sexy Star standing in the ring tall as we fade to black. And as you fade into twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser, this is my plug, to watch me on twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser. Come over to the Discord, have yourself a good time, baby.
Yeah. Also, real quick, there was a post-credit thing where it says Dragon Azteca Jr. will be versing Chavo Guerrero Jr.
You are so right. We do need to talk about that. Do you want to break that one down, or do you want me to take it?
I thought that was the breakdown.
There's one more wrinkle to it. This is all happening because Rey Mysterio comes in. He's like, my student, Dragon Azteca Jr., is not ready for Penta. Please don't make this match. Dario says, you're right. He's also not the only one who has beef with Penta. Chavo Guerrero Jr. was supposed to be in that match, but Penta took him out. So it's going to be 1-on-1 for the right to face Penta, Chavo versus Dragon.
Hell yeah.
And Ray, because Ray, you're so concerned, how about we make this super fair? You are the special guest referee. So it'll be for the right to face Pentagon Dark, Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus Dragon Azteca Jr. with Rey Mysterio Jr. as the special guest referee. And Dario is so excited about this, he does not pencil this one in. He signs it in ink.
Ooh.
And then my plugs.
Well, yeah, it's Goose Von Kaiser.
At twitch.tv, Goose Von Kaiser. Find my Discord. Have yourselves a good time. I got laid off very recently, and then a beloved friend passed away. So I'm really sad. So give me money. Thank you so much for being here. I'm kidding about the money thing. Thank you so much for listening. These, as hard as it was this week, the last 2 weeks, these are so much fun to record, and I'm so grateful to anyone who listens to even a modicum of this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you get through the Dominator stuff, thank you so much.
Oh my, honestly, if you survive the Dominator, James, just go do it.
Hey guys, listen to my music under Marsh, Land, Monster. That's 3 words. Listen to the array of other podcasts that are free to listen to. Wherever you're listening to this, you can listen to Sweet Child of Time. Death to Squids is in the same podcast feed, or Mostly Speaking Sentai. Maybe check out This Movie's Gay. Go listen to those. Listen to Hit It and Crit It. That'll be back eventually. And then head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. Yeah. This Friday will be Mostly Speaking Sentai After Dark, where we're almost done with Akiba Ranger, reviewing those 2 seasons. Then we're going to move on to Garo. Oh, yeah. There's, I think, boobies in that one. Yay.
Nice.
And also, $10 patrons get monthly exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon. Pearl, aka Torchyberry, we just did for our summer mockbuster series, the movie Transmorphers, and Steve Barnes from Sweet Child of Time. We've never seen him in person. Well, guess what? We can now say we have. He came over from Virginia to hang out just for a day, but he was in the Midwest to like bring his daughter somewhere. But
That's awesome.
yeah, he came over and did straight to Patreon that will be out at the end of the month for the movie Gacy House. There's some numbers before it for like 8723 Gacy House, something like that. It's a found footage movie that, again, is a summer mockbuster. The Asylum is doing it, baby. And $10 patrons get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast. Let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, Jordan B. The Chaos Witch, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua Jacobs, Steve Barnes, A Sweet Child of Time, and Intro Void, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, that fed, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin, and from the Rom Complex, as well as Formulaic a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby2, and I've been James.
I have been Sean. Real quick, last thing, thank you, Bomb Reinhardt, for getting me back into wrestling. You will be missed. And Purple Prancer forever.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.